Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Cumulative Test 18A. This is a review. It's probably going to be a two-part review, so here we go. In the forest were lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. The ratio of lions to tigers, so lions to tigers, was 3:2. The ratio of tigers to bears was 3:4. If there were 9 lions, how many bears were there? And it says, hint, first find out how many tigers there were. So let's make a ratio box. Let's do lions to tigers. Lions to tigers. So we have our ratio and our actual. Lions to tigers is 3:2. And we have 9 lions, so we're looking at tigers. So we have 3/2 is equal to 9/x. 3x is equal to 18. X is equal to 6. So we have 6 tigers. We are not done. Okay, now we're going to have to take this information, put it in a ratio box so we can find out how many bears, which is the actual question. Ratio actual of tigers to bears was 3:4. I have 6 tigers. I want to know my bears. So 3:4, 6/x. I have 3x is equal to 24. X is equal to 8. So I have 8 bears. Number 2. A shoebox is 25 centimeters long by 15 centimeters wide by 8 centimeters high. What is the volume? This should be in the back of your spiral. Length times width times height, which is 25, times 15 times 8. 25 times 15 times 8 is 3,000 centimeters cubed. If a coin is tossed and a number cube, which is a dice or die, is rolled, what is the probability of getting heads and 6? So we want the probability of heads and 6. This is a compound probability, so we have to multiply. The probability of heads is 1/2. The probability of 6 is 1/6. 1/2 times 1/6 is 1/12. Use 2 unit multipliers to convert 81 square feet to square yards. So we have our given times a unit multiplier times a unit multiplier equals our answer. So we're given 81 square feet, and we're trying to get to square yards. So I want yards in the top. I know that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. So I need yards in the top. There's 1. There's 2, and I'm going to need 2 because I have 2 feet squared here. So that cancels that out. I end up with 81 times 1 times 1 over 3 times 3, which is 81 over 9, which is 9. Okay. On a number line, graph the negative integers. So this is how I know that it's not going to be a highlight, that it's going to be an individual dot. Greater than -3. So it doesn't include -3. It includes those that are greater than. And integers are negative numbers, 0. This is what this should look like. Number 6. How many degrees is 1/6 of a full circle? So 1/6 times 360 degrees. 1/6 times 360 degrees is 360 divided by 6, which is 60 degrees. Diagram this statement. Bill bought a shirt for $36. This is 3/4 of the regular price. So 3/4 is equal to $36. I'm going to divide that by 3 to find out what goes in each one of these. Okay, it says, what was the regular price of the shirt? So that's going to be 4 times 12, which is $48. And Bill bought the shirt for what percent of the regular price? So what percent is 36 of 48? Um, 3,600 divided by 48 equals 75%. The other way that you could do this, you don't have to do this the hard way like I did. 3/4 is equal to 75%. There we go. It says, use the information in the figure below to answer the questions. What is the measure of angle W, which is right here? And then what is the measure of angle Z? Okay, so let's kind of walk through this. We have 35 degrees plus 90 degrees. We know that in any triangle, all of the angles are going to add up to 180. So in the first triangle, we have 35 plus 90 plus W is equal to 180. So let's go ahead and add 35 and 90. And I get 125 plus W is equal to 180. So I'm going to have to subtract. And I get 55 degrees. So that is W. And then it gets kind of interesting, if it isn't already interesting. But I know that W and X, W plus X is equal to 180. So I have 55 plus X is equal to 180. If I subtract to solve, I get X is equal to 125. So this is 125, which we don't need yet, right? Now we need to find Y, because we're trying to get to Z. All right, so I know that X plus Y is equal to 180 because it makes a line. X is 125 plus Y is equal to 180. Minus 125 minus 125. Y is equal to 55. Now I have everything I need to get Z. So from here, I have 55 plus 70 plus Z is equal to 180. So I'm going to add that. 55 plus 70. Try it again. So I get 125 plus Z is equal to 180. So I'm going to subtract, and I get 55. So this is 55. They're both 55. Interesting. Okay, and I'm going to have to erase something because all of the red is question number 8. So let me do a different color here. How many diagonals can be drawn from one vertex of a regular hexagon? So I'm going to go ahead and draw a hexagon here because I can't do this in my head. That's a hexagon, a 6-sided figure, 6 sides. And then let me pick a different color for the diagonals. So a side is not a diagonal. You have to pick a vertex and draw it to another vertex that's not a side. Okay. And that's a side, and that's a side. So I have 3 diagonals, and I've illustrated my answer. And then the last one, the circumference. Circumference is equal to 2 pi r or pi d. Here I have r is equal to 14, so that's what I'm going to use. It's always helpful to write down the formula and then fill in what you need. So I have 2 times, it says 22 over 7 times 14. Okay. I'm going to cancel this one and this one, and I end up with 2 times 22 times 2. Yep, which is 88. I can't find, oh, there we are. And this is circumference, so it's just inches. All right, area of a trapezoid. Area of a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. So I have base 1, base 2, and height. area is equal to 1/2 30 plus 10 times 20, which is 1/2 of 40 times 20. 1/2 of 40 is 20 times 20, which is 400 millimeters squared. Find the missing exponents. So we know that when we multiply with the same base, we add the exponent. So this is 10 to the 3 plus 4, which is 10 to the 7. Okay, so to go from decimal to percent, we multiply by 100. So this is, B is going to be 0.02 times 100 is equal to 2%. And then to go from decimal to fraction, it's place value. So A is going to be, that's tenths, hundredths, so I have 2 hundredths, and then I have to reduce, and I get 1/50. Okay, what percent? So what percent, what per hundred of 200 is 40? So is over of, we've got 40 over 200. So then I can cross multiply. I have 200x is equal to 40 times 100. 200x is equal to 4123 divided by 200 divided by 200. X is equal to 20. Okay, percent. Let me change colors because I'm running out of space yet again. This says use a ratio box. 45% of the customers, of the 5,000 fast food customers ordered a hamburger. And then it says how many did not. So let's go ahead and make our ratio box. So we have percent and actual. Hamburger, not, and total. So my total is 100%. It says 45% ordered a hamburger, so that's going to be here. And I know that that makes this 55 because those have to add up. The total is 5,000 customers. How many did not order? So this is my ratio box, which gives me my proportion. And then we have 100x is equal to 25, 1, 2, 3, 4. So x is equal to 2,500. Is that right? Oh, I did something wrong. I caught myself. That's a good thing. Let me erase. Let's see, eraser. So here I put 50 when it should have been 55. So let me redo some of that. That's going to go, and that's going to go. My bad. At least I caught it. Pen. Okay, so this is 55, because it should be right. It should be these two lines right here, which makes this 55 times 5,000 is 200. No. Take that, and we get 2750. There we go, much more like it. Okay. 16, we're going to multiply this first number and then the next number, so we have 1.25 times 8, and then I have 10 to the negative 3 times 10 to the negative 5, which is 10 to the negative 3 plus negative 5, which is 10 to the negative 8. 8 times 1.25 is 10. So let me bring this over here. Just follow the green. Sorry. 10 times 10 to the negative 8. This is not scientific notation, so I'm going to have to move this. When I move that 1, I add a 10 to the 1, which gives me 10 to the negative 7. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the first part of the presentation, and we'll start on 17 with part 2.